Keep on, please. Moving in the order, and I'm going to do it again. We'll start off by giving a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we will be going on to safety announcements by Curtis Moses.
Good morning, Chair, board members, Bernard, public. In the event of an emergency, we'll evacuate the door to my right. We'll continue through the lobby, cross the tarmac, and we'll meet on the corner of Channel and Sutter. In the event that this egress is blocked, we'll go out to this door here to my left. We'll continue across, and we'll meet also on Channel and Sutter. In the event of a medical emergency, we have a defibrillator located in the back. We also have a first aid station located as well in the lobby. Myself and as well as two board members, we're both first aid certified, and I will be the one that contact local enforcement and as well as AMR. That concludes my safety contact for today.
Awesome. Now we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we will be going to the public hearing for my bad. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm excited, right? Been up since 5. Awesome. Let's do roll call, Miss Erica.
Sounds good. Chair Gray,
Here.
Vice Chair Bernard is running late. Director Edwards,
Present.
Director Song. Present. Director Chapoya.
Present.
Thank you.
We ready to move on now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we will be going to item number 6, public hearing at 9 a.m. for AB 2561 public hearing. The public hearing is to gather the public comments regarding RTD vaccinations. Okay, would anybody like to speak, or do we have any cards in? No? Oh, these are for this one? Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Let's get to it. I did not understand his penmanship. Washington or, yeah, Vincent. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, sir. Couldn't understand that.
It's Thornall. but
Thornall,
they're
awesome.
running late. And then this will be the last one for item 16.
Okay, awesome.
This is also public hearing,
Okay.
but then it's not until 11.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
My name's Vincent Contino. I'm the ex-president business agent of ATU Local 276, this transit district. And I represent retirees, retired management, and retired bus drivers and mechanics. And I want to talk about AB 2561. My understanding is that AB 2561 is intended to increase transparency and accountability around staffing vacancies in public agencies. Staffing shortages can reduce the quality of public service and place an additional burden on current employees. This law should apply to all local agency employees, including representative and non-representative employees. With that in mind, why does the report not show the vacancy rate for non-represented employees? I am also concerned about hiring decisions when candidates may not have successfully completed the full vesting process. Why isn't there a full vesting process? It should be full and complete, and I should be able to come in there and be able to determine why you hired A over B. If employees are placed into positions without proper venting, especially management positions, the agency may end up spending more money later to address performance problems or correct avoidable mistakes. For that reason, I believe RTD should carefully follow its own policies and procedures for internal and external positioning, documenting interviews, references, checks, and background checks. Like I said earlier, a person off the street should be able to know why you hired this person and why you didn't. Given the recent recruitment decisions, terminations, and pay increases, and another thing, how do you guys determine pay increases when you don't even have a budget? Before you give out money, you make sure you have it in your pocket. You guys are giving out money with no money in the pocket. Given the recent recruitment decision, termination, and pay increases, can the agency confidently say that it has followed both the requirements and the spirit of AB 2561? I ask that these comments be included in the public record. And I thank you very much. I'll be coming up here 2 more times. So unless you want me to address myself 3 times, I will. Or if I'm just going to say hi and leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We will be moving on to Carl Nate Knott. Carl Nate. Now, is it not or Knox? Not.
Well, it's not here. It would have been Connoten, Germany about 100 years ago.
Imagine that. Thank you.
So anyway, thank you for opportunity to speak today. I'm also speaking to AB 2561. Reviewing the documents that are posted there, as the previous speaker said, I see listings by category, by representative, non-representative, but I don't see vacancies listed except for the 1% given, which I believe for the motor coach operator. So it seems as though RTD should be posting vacancies as they come up. One example is the CFO job, which was open, has been open for some time. I never heard of that being filled. I see no posting for a CFO position right now. That's Chief Financial Officer. That's a very important, critical position. I see that they list 3 people for marketing. I don't know if the marketing has any vacancies or not. They used to have at one time 6, and that might have been too many. And they have 11 listed in the finance department. But again, as far as I know, there's no CFO, and I'm not even sure if there's more vacancies than that there. It would seem as though the percentages in all job categories should be shown. And what is RTD's policy on hiring new employees from a salary standpoint? Will salaries be based on new employees having had experience or job application resumes from another job, work experience? Are job interviews rated by a panel of people in an interview? When new job candidates are hired, are they hired at established public salary brackets? When those new people are hired, do they equal or exceed the salary of people who have worked in those jobs just immediately in the past? And how will the public know what salaries are to be if job postings are not posted? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe that's it for that item, right?
The presentation.
Yeah, okay, for number 7, right? Awesome. 6, okay, cool. Thomas, where we at? Let's get it. That's my guy Thomas right there.
Good morning. For the record, Thomas Dempsey, acting CFO. And my regular position is Director of Procurement. So for the public hearing on the AB 2561 RTD vacancies and recruitment and retention efforts, public agencies required to report on vacancies and recruitment and retention efforts at a public hearing once each fiscal year. The law entitles employee unions to make a presentation during the public hearing. The AB 2561 requires public agencies to report on the status of vacancies and recruitment efforts. We have to identify any changes to policies and procedures, of course. For the purposes of this report, the vacancy percentage is calculated from June 1st to May 30th. For the purposes of consistency, each annual report will be calculated from the same time period snapshot. RTD's vacancy percentage is 13%. Vacancies as of May 30th, facility 0, maintenance 2, transportation 28. No bargaining unit met or exceeded the 20% vacancy threshold during the reporting period. Staff has not identified any policies, procedures, or recruitment activities that may lead to obstacles in the hiring process. However, we continue to adjust our processes with the goal of finding and retaining top talent. RTD also has one apprenticeship program and maintenance for mechanics. No board action is required. Let's see, I think if you can go through, there's some slides here to kind of visually depict. So this is our 13% is our current rate for that time frame that we just reported on. This is a listing of all of our positions that are budgeted. For FY26, you can see there are 360 total. 270 are represented and 90 are non-represented. We did have 2 new mechanic apprentices in 2026. And that concludes our report as prepared.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the board? No? No statements? Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving on to item number 8, special presentation for state legislative presentation by Michael Pimentel. Pimentel, how do you say that, sir? Pimentel. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Good morning, directors. Good to be with you today. I'm Michael Pimentel. I'm a partner with the firm Shaw-Uter, Antwi, Schmelzer, and Lang, and I'm your state representative in Sacramento. Haven't been before the board as constituted, so I do want to just give a little bit of background on myself before we dive into the specifics of the presentation. I have been with our firm Shaw-Uter, Antwi, Schmelzer, and Lang for going on 11 years, have served as partner for almost 2, have been representing various parties in the transit industry since my time with the firm beginning in 2015, joined this team in 2018 when we received the contract, and have continued to serve as your lead in the years that have followed. Now, I do want to note that while I'm here as a representative of my firm, we do also have a support lobbyist who provides assistance to me in driving your priorities forward. That's a gentleman by the name of Brendan Rapicki. We also have a support staffer in Olivia Thomas. And so as we dive into the details, I want to click to the next slide and take you and we can go to the next slide here, the legislative session calendar, and just highlight for you where we are in the legislative year. And so here I want to highlight most particularly that legislature reconvened for the second year of the 2-year session on January 5th of this year. And they have, in the months that have followed, worked through a series of deadlines. Deadlines to introduce the budget, deadlines to introduce legislation, ultimately move those bills through their policy committees. And we are about to enter into what is their summer recess. Summer recess will start on July 2nd. Legislature will not reconvene until August 3rd. And in that 1-month period, all legislative activity ceases. You'll see that legislators are often doing missions to go learn on policy issues, They may have meetings with constituents, but in terms of policy engagement, budgetary action, all of that has ceased. And what we are marching toward is the end of the legislative year that will take place on August 31st. And today, what I want to highlight for you are some of the most operative things that have moved in this legislative session, those areas where we've been tracking, we've been engaged on your behalf. And I want to start first with just an acknowledgement of your legislative delegation. So if we can go to the next slide, you'll see that RTD is represented in Sacramento by 3 legislators. Senator Jerry McNerney, Assemblymember Rhodesia Ransom, and Assemblymember Heath Flora, that I highlight here in his honorific role as Minority Leader of the California State Assembly. Now, as we click to the next slide, you'll see that the policy work that RTD cares about often runs through a few regular committees. We have our policy committees, Senate Transportation, Assembly Transportation as those dominant ones. And we have our budget committees. There are the general budget committees, Senate and Assembly budget committees respectively. And then under them, individual subcommittees. Subcommittees will have discussions on particular departments, agencies, programmatic investments for those purposes. And what we track for RTD are chiefly Senate Sub 2 that oversees climate investments, Senate Sub 5, which oversees transportation investments, and then Assembly Sub 4, which oversees both climate and transportation investments for that House. As we click to the next slide, we highlight exactly where it is that your legislative delegation is positioned. And here what I want to note is that you have a delegation that is very prime to make impact for RTD for this region. In Jerry McNerney, you have a legislator who's sitting on the budget committee, sitting on the relevant subcommittee, and is engaged in areas that touch topics that may be germane to RTD. That includes Senate Energy, Utilities, and Communications, Senate Revenue and Taxation. From time to time, we will have policy bills that will move through both committees. And then with Assemblymember Rhodesia Ransom, we have a member who sits on the Assembly Local Government Committee as well as the Assembly Transportation Committee. Both impact matters that would be before RTD. I highlight for you that Minority Leader Heath Flora has no appointments. And that is often the case when you have a legislative leader, they're managing their House, they're managing their caucus, not necessarily engaged in policy committees, though they have the ability to apply influence and drive impact forward for the respective House. As we click to the next slide, I want to jump into, I think, the thing that is perhaps the most critical update for you all to understand as a board, and that is the status of the fiscal year 26-27 budget. And so what I want to highlight for you is this process begins in January, and as we'll go into detail in a moment, it typically will conclude by the end of this month, so that come July 1, we have a new budget in place for the start of the fiscal year, which begins on July 1st. And that first step for framing up the budget happens through the release of the governor's January budget. Now, what I present here are the details that were germane at that time. He had presented a minor budget deficit of about $2.9 billion. He had proposed, unfortunately, the elimination of one-time funding that would flow to this region and potentially down to RTD and what we often will refer to as SB 125 funds. We'll go into a little bit more detail on that in a moment. But the budget generally did show stable revenues on all other transit funding fronts. Now, that release of the budget gave way to what were budget subcommittee hearings that continued on through, as we click to the next slide, the release of the governor's May revise. Here I want to note that every year, the governor releases his January budget. He then introduces a mid-year refresh that we call the May revise. This year, that was released on May 14th. And it presented an improved fiscal outlook for the state. I had noted $2.9 billion budget deficit is what he posted in January. He acknowledged that the state has received since then an additional $16 billion that bests the projections that were in his January budget. And therefore, we are in a practical budget surplus. Now, the administration is not presenting it as a budget surplus because what they're looking at is out-year budget deficits, and they're applying some of those higher revenues to those out years to buy down those deficits. And thus they're saying, we're going to hold the line on spending as a way of preventing us from being in a situation a year or two from now where we've overextended ourselves relative revenues. This is a matter of fiscal prudence. And so again, higher than expected revenues being applied to future years. He has also advanced through that budget a series of cuts. And we'll go into some of the ways in which those have been pushed back on in a moment. But the cuts would largely fall on social services. Think of Medi-Cal, think of in-home supportive services, areas where the state has either proposed in the governor's budget to eliminate those services or reduce the benefits that are provided. The governor is looking to address again those out-year budget deficits. What he has excluded in his May revise, and it's something that's come into focus in recent weeks, has been what we call the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. The GGRF, as it's often known, is a fund source that often provides investment in things like affordable housing, transit capital, transit operations, clean air programs, among other things. And the governor is silent on it because, as we'll get into in just a moment, there are a number of things that are moving in some regulatory bodies that have an impact on that GGRF. Now, before we go into that, I did want to highlight for you the specifics I noted at the top, the elimination of money for this SB 125 program. As we click to the next slide, you'll see exactly what that means for this region. Now, here, first, a statewide observation, $5.1 billion total has been provided by the state. That money flows over a 5-year time horizon, began in 2023 as an intended to conclude in fiscal year 27-28. For this region in particular, SJCOG was scheduled to receive $93.5 million, which could be passed through to RTD, to Escalon, to Lodi, to any of the transit agencies or municipalities that run public transit service in this region. Now, as we click to the next slide, you'll see that that $5.1 billion is, again, something that happens over a 5-year time horizon. I've been keeping the ledger of what has been appropriated, what still needs to be appropriated, that which is planned. And you'll see that to date, the lion's share of the money has been appropriated. Through actions that were taken across these past few years, we're at about $4.5 billion that has been appropriated. It's a remaining balance that takes us to that 5.1 that we still need to receive over the next 2 fiscal years, including the one that the governor and the legislature are currently discussing the budget for. That's the fiscal year 26-27. And so as we click to the next slide, you'll just see again the pop out of, in particular, what is proposed to be eliminated, that $230 million for this year, the $460 million for the subsequent year. Again, those are the statewide totals, but it does have a pass-through impact on SJCOG and therefore RTD. And as we click to the next slide, I did want to highlight some good news, which is the general resilience of the fund balances for our various transit supporting programs. Now, details are fairly small, but what I would highlight for you is that we are seeing better than expected revenue generation for things like the state sales tax on diesel fuel. That's because diesel prices are high. That's a percentage-based fund source. We're also seeing generally strong revenues from sales taxes generally. Folks, despite the economy being on a bit of a shaky footing, are continuing to buy a lot of goods, and those goods are generating revenues for the state. Now, I wanted to highlight for you as we move on that while the budget, of course, is concerning, folks are not engaged in these conversations without a degree of pushback. There has been an acknowledgement that there have been funds that have been promised to regional entities, to transit agencies. In another role that I play, I serve as executive director of the California Transit Association. It's a trade organization that represents 220 member organizations, 85 transit agencies in the state, including RTD. We have been leading the effort through that organization to push back on the governor's proposed cuts. You'll see here just a few of our efforts, letters that we've driven, letters we have driven with our colleagues in the state legislature to ultimately move us forward. Now, complicating all of this budget picture is the status of regulatory action that was taken by the California Resources Board at the end of May. So I know the GGRF is something that the governor has been silent on. How exactly, they would continue to move forward with investments in affordable housing, transit capital, transit operations, clean air programs. The reason the governor is silent is that his California Resources Board just adopted amendments to the Cap and Invest program, which would reduce GGRF revenues by $2 billion. And so there's a conversation around how do you follow through on commitments that were made in past years when you've just eliminated $2 billion in potential revenues that can be used to satisfy those commitments. And so I want to highlight on your screen exactly, so click to the next slide, what is on the table and at risk. Again, details small, but what I would highlight for you is last year, the legislature took action to reauthorize what we call the Cap and Invest program. It's a market-based mechanism that is looking to squeeze emissions from heavy industry. It does that by way of selling what we call allowances. The sale of the allowances generate revenue that go into what we call the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. Those monies pass through to various programs on an ongoing basis. Now, in reauthorizing the program, the legislature also considered its expenditure plan, what its priorities would be for the revenue that was generating. And they had made an estimate that there would be $4 billion total, and they made $4 billion of commitments. The governor's action through the California Resources Board, again, has cut that from $4 billion to $2 billion. And so the expenditure plan that they just agreed to last fall, is already invalid. And so as we click to the next slide, you'll see some of the engagement that, again, my California Transit Association is leading on behalf of the industry. And again, that includes on behalf of RTD to push back on what is otherwise going to be cuts that take place by default because of reduced revenues. And what we've been calling for is for the legislature to reconsider then the prioritization of investments within its expenditure plan so that we're not on the chopping block. And so you'll see here efforts that we've led with parties in affordable housing, labor, business community, environmental community. You also see some of the efforts that we've led with the California State Legislature to apply pressure on this to be a resolved issue. Now, as I conclude on the budget update, I did want to just highlight for you the legislature's two-party budget agreement. If you click to the next slide, you'll see that in the budget process, there is always an intermediate step that takes place before budget adoption, and that is for the legislature to express what its priorities are as they're going into negotiations with Governor Newsom so they can have a budget in place by the end of June and to have that in place by the start of the fiscal year. And so the legislature has just expressed what their priorities are. That was released on June 11th. They voted on it last night. And importantly, they include a nod to the efforts that we have been leading to see a reprioritization of GGRF revenues and the maintenance of the funding that was committed to public transit. And that is something that's taken place through some language that they have acknowledged as placeholder language to say, we're going to continue to work on this. We're going to continue to work on it until we find resolution. And so that much is forward progress. It's not yet resolution. And so therefore, as we click to the next slide, you'll just see that there's some ongoing effort that we're leading. I note for you that some of the engagement for the legislature includes support from two of the members of your three-member legislative delegation. Senator McNerney, Assemblymember Ransom have been hugely supportive of our efforts, have joined our legislative sign-on letters to that effect. Now, as I conclude, just want to highlight a few bills for you, and we'll keep this fairly brief, just so that we can take any questions or comments. But as we click to the next slide, we want to highlight one of four bills. This one I'm raising for awareness because this could come with workload changes for your staff. This is Bill AB 1599, which would require Caltrans to establish a transit stop registry, and that is to document the transit stops and stations that exist across the state and the facilities or the furniture that is available at those stations and stops. Now, the requirement applies to Caltrans, but then the bill would require that each transit agency in the state go back and validate Caltrans's own work to attest to the correctness of the information. And so that would come with additional burden on staff to go out and do this type of survey work. That can come with resource challenge, that can come with potential impact on budgetary resources in future years. And so this is one that we are tracking. As we click to the next slide, you'll see a bill that I highlight only because it is a bill that's being led by your trade association, the Transit Association. And it's one that would continue to reauthorize the use of what we call forward-facing cameras for the purposes of policing things like bus-only lanes, making sure that folks aren't parked in your bus-only lanes, folks aren't parked at your bus stops, preventing folks from accessing your vehicles. And so this is a bill that is currently moving forward and is something that's been broadly utilized by agencies across the state. I will note RTD does not have a forward-facing camera program, but it is being used by neighboring agencies like Sacramento Regional Transit. And so we can go to the next slide and I'll highlight one item that comes with potential cost savings to the agency. And it's AB 1944, a bill that comes with regulatory improvements for the agency. It's AB 1944 that would address the weight of buses, give you all the ability to buy heavier buses to meet what are the California Resources Board's requirements that you transition to zero emission technologies. Now I understand RTD already has made some great strides on the zero emission bus front. There aren't near-term plans for significantly increasing their fleet of zero emission buses. But when you get to a point of needing to buy new zero emission buses, weight may be a factor. And so this bill is looking to resolve that factor by giving some additional allowance in state law. And then finally, I'll close on a bill, SB 741. This is a bill that would streamline what we call the Low Carbon Transit Operations Program. It's a formula program. RTD gets a share. The regional entity gets a share. And these monies can be broadly used by the agency for things like operations, for the purchase of zero emission vehicles, for fare programs, among other things. The problem with the program today is that it's bureaucratically heavy. There's a lot of front-end oversight by Caltrans, back-end accountability measures applied by Caltrans. The bill is looking to streamline the administration of the program, so it works like every other formula program, where you have a list of eligible uses, you use the money, and then you report on the back end on exactly how you've utilized those monies. And so this bill too, moving forward. And so as I conclude, I'm happy to take any questions from the dais. I just want to appreciate the opportunity to be before you today. And there was a big update, but it is mid-year, and I want to make sure that we're giving you that full overview of all that's moved in the preceding 6 months.
Any questions from anybody up here? No? No, that was a lot of information, but great information. We really appreciate you so much.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'll be sure to continue to provide written reports for the board's review. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Moving on to item number 9, interim chief executive officer update.
Yes, can you hear me? So,
Yeah.
yes, that was great information. It's very informational, man. I tell you, you do a lot of work for us, and I want to thank him for doing some work for me recently. So I want to personally make sure that he's my go-to guy. I don't know how we'd make it out here without him, any of the transit industry. So I want to thank you for being a part of the team. But I know a lot of concerns. I don't know, he's always, the gentleman that was there, there's always concerns about the money. I don't want to update everybody and let them know that we're in the middle of a forensic audit, meaning what we're trying to get a confidence report to give back to everybody. So everybody will know how everything started and how everything ended down to the penny, and I'm going to make that public. So that way, if you have a concern about what happened to this, what happened to that, well, I'm new here. So I'm going to make sure we get everything down to the penny, and we let the public know everything that happened to every dollar, so it's a forensic audit. So we're going down to the penny on everything. So I'll be releasing that. We're also in the middle of a FTA audit, a state audit, a federal audit. So we're cleaning it up. So if you want clean hands, we're giving, I'm trying to give that to us to make sure we have clean hands. So we have everybody in here looking at everything. And if you know anybody else can look, we'll get them too. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure, as long as I'm here, we make sure we do it right. I know there's a lot of concerns about, well, what's this or what's that? If you just give me some time to get to the bottom of it, I probably got it on my list as well as you got it on yours. So we're working now to make sure I get all the answers. And when I get them, I put them up on that screen right there while you're in here. And if I don't, you come and see me. So we're going to put it out there. Nobody's going to hold anything back from me. So when it's available, I'll give it to you. Good, bad, or indifference, because it is what it is. So if you can just allow me to get the information and get it to you, I'll do that. The forensic audit is the one I'm really looking at. All of the audits are important, but that's going to let us know and eliminate most of the concerns you have with what things happen, what happened to this, what happened to that. That's where that come in at. So, I know everybody's waiting on it. It's in 4 phases, so we're in phase 1. I wish we could release things in phases, but they tell us not to release the whole report. So give me a little bit to get everything you need. Trust me, I feel your pain. I hear your voices. Just give me time to get the information, give it to you.
We will be moving on to item number 10. Item number 10, the first one is marketing update. That is presented by written reports. Anybody here?
The only part, for you is that if the board has questions.
Okay, we have any questions on items, marketing update, financial update, let's say legislative update? I think we got a lot of updates. But we are going to go to item number D, so the RTD retirement board assignment. I was actually thinking about appointing our new directors, Director San and Tafoya, if you guys are open to that. If not, I will bring it back to the original board when we first started, but were you guys open to accepting that role?
Yes, I would.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, awesome. So we covered that. Moving on to consent calendar, item number 11. We have some public comments for E and H. From Vincent to Contino. Is he still here? No? Vincent Contino, okay, is not here anymore. So we'll be moving on from the public comment with that. I was actually looking at everything and so for me, I would like to put a motion in to approve everything A through H. If anybody. So move. What? I second that. Second that. Thank you, sir. All right, can we have a vote, please?
Chair Gray,
Yes.
Vice Chair Marat,
Yes.
Director Edwards,
Yes.
Director Song. Yes. Director Tafoya.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we are moving on to action item number 12. So this is authorizing the interim chief executive officer to negotiate and execute a contract. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, for sure. Sorry about that. Got a note. To negotiate and execute a contract with Elite Private Security Services LLC and security guards. Yeah, so with this, do we have a report on this?
Yes, if you needed to report out, there is a
Okay.
report available.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, Chair, board members. Today, RTD staff is asking for authorization for the interim CEO to execute a contract with Elite Contract Services for 1 year for $2 million with up to 2 one-year options with a total not to exceed of $6 million. With this particular service, within 2 weeks, the current contract for security services will expire. Based upon that, we need to once again renew the contract. The agency has went out and did a fully executable RFP and has selected Elite Services. So with that being said, the report is in front of you, and I'll take any questions at this time.
Any questions?
No questions. I'll move to approve.
Okay, yeah, I'll second that. I reviewed everything and it looks good to me. So, especially with the contract expiring, we need security. We need, it means a lot to the community and just having that extra emphasis on safety. So I second that.
Thank you, board.
So, yeah, we did have a motion from, Director Edwards and I seconded.
We need a roll call vote.
Yes,
Chair Gray,
yes.
Vice Chair Manon,
Yes.
Director Edwards,
Yes.
Director DeFoy.
Yes.
We already just passed a motion, because you were here for IE. Yeah, we already passed that. We're on number 12 already right now, sir. So that your cards were for 11E and we're on action item number 12 already. So we can hold it for public comment at the end. We're gonna hold it for public comment at the end, sir. We can hold it for public comment at the end if you still would like to speak, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. You're all good, sir. Moving on to item number 13, okay, which is your time, public comment. Any public comments? We have action item number Nate Knott. We're gonna start with you. Nate Knott.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I just wish to state some general concerns regarding RTD employment and operations. I urge the new RTD board to resist the temptation to engage in continued full-scale hiring until job postings are done describing job positions, titles, necessary qualifications, education, and authorized rates of pay. I'd like to see RTD conduct employment interviews by position with review panels made up of appropriate RTD administrators and executive staffs. I also urge the RTD board not to make any permanent positions from interim positions until RTD under a new board and new administration has something of a track record of operations. Today, for example, is the first time that the entire new board has met. That's the first full board meeting of 5 people since February 20th. RTD has an overdue federal audit to complete. So for reasons for not wanting to have full-time positions filled and interim people made full-time, as far as a track record goes, RTD is not yet on a new board, had major service changes, have not conducted a major ridership study, have not conducted a fare box revenue recovery ratio study, have not conducted a study about fare pricing and possible fare media changes, although the top and go has begun, which is great. There needs to be an evaluation of RTD's current bus fleet for scheduled renewal, state of good repair, spare ratio fleet of the fleet. There's a lot of buses out there I know that are 13 years old, and the federal requirement is usually replace buses at 12 to 13 to 14 years. And I don't see anything in the budget for doing that. RTD has an interim CEO, a new COO. The CEO has never been in charge of a transit agency before. The COO has never been an operating officer before. RTD apparently has no current HR director and no current director of finance. So for all those reasons, I want this new board to take some time to get some policies established, and before any whole-scale hiring is done, before major pay increases are done, and before people's interim job titles become full-time. Thank you.
Vincent Contino, I will let you speak on your items from action item number 11.
Again, my name is Vince Contino. I'm the ex-president and business agent of Local 276, Stockton, California. I'm referring to 11H. I am speaking about the consent item 11H involving RTD designation, receipt, and responsibility. I do not believe this item should be handed on a consent. Consent items are supposed to be routine and not controversial. This issue is not routine. It affects RTD's federal funding role and its future and its ability to serve the public. That should be discussed publicly. People should know where you're spending the money, where you're getting the money, and how you're going about to get the money. RTD has served as a designated recipient for many years. This responsibility is important because it helps determine how federal transit dollars are received and allocated to this region. From what I can see, there is no strong reason for RTD to give up or share that responsibility now. Instead of giving the money to Tracy, Manteca, and these other areas, RTD should encompass them. RTD should be the regional transit district for the whole county. There should be one entity, one CEO, one personnel department, and all the routes and services throughout the whole county should center here. But what you're doing now, you're giving it away. You're cutting your own head and your hands and your feet by giving it up to other people. I cannot see there is any strong reason for RTD to give up or share that responsibility now. The problem is no one in the board of management seems to have the courage, the knowledge, or the capability to defend or make an argument against this proposal. The city of Lathrop asked for more money, and yet nobody rides their service. We have one route that completes their whole system. The city of Lathrop asked for more money. You gave it to them. Why? They asked to be the designated recipient. Now you are giving it to them. I am concerned that you agreed to give the city of Lathrop such a large allocation before there is even enough ridership history to justify it. Lathrop's public funds on-demand school transportation service is still new and not proven. They don't know if anybody's riding it or not. They don't have no stats. It seems premature to reward that service with the level of funding, especially if it duplicates transit service instead of RTD's role as the regional transit provider. We should be the one and only. All funds should come here. Obviously, each city should have a member of the board.
Thank you.
On this transit system.
Thank you, sir, for your, thank you. Well, I'm done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, order. Hey, your 3 minutes is up, sir. Right, this is, well, your 3 minutes is up. Hey, I understand. I love it. Order.
Thank you very much, and I'm sorry that I have to be rude sometimes.
You're not rude. I appreciate it. Just listen. It's all good. It's not genetics. Let's not say that. All right, awesome. That was pretty fun. Let's move on to, there is no more public comments on this. So we will be, any questions or comments from the directors and staff?
No, I'm not. They're listening. They're-
Those were 16. Yeah, for later. Number 16. Yep, for sure. Thank you, Miss Erica. I appreciate you for always supporting me. Okay, so taking it back to the board right now, are there any comments or?
I just have a couple comments, and I'll be very brief. First, I want to say welcome to our new board member. It's nice to have a fully constituted board. So want to just say welcome. Second, to the reference of jobs posted online, I know the HR position was posted for at least a week and a half. Positions have been posted, so just because you may not see it doesn't mean it wasn't posted. COO position was posted for a week as well. There was other positions. CFO was posted for a long time. So we can't just say the negative narratives of we're not posting things and we're just bringing people in. That's not true. Second, for any member of public to come and question one's credentials, I think is very disrespectful. You don't know what people do just because they come here and they do one job and they leave and they go do other things that does also speak to their qualifications. So just like somebody wouldn't come and disrespect anybody else for your qualifications, don't do that here. We're not going to have that. Okay. And third, I'm glad that Michael did come and speak to the SB 125 money that is over 5 years, and that RTD does not just get the money, that we have to do certain things and apply for that money, and it goes for the region, not just for RTD. RTD is a partner within the county. It is not the wholesale of the county. So we work well with our agencies across the county, and that's what we want to do. And so other than that, that's all I have to say to address those issues that were brought up.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
I'll keep it under 2 minutes. First, I want to say that I'm greatly honored and to have the privilege to serve on this board. Ironically, I grew up at Eldorado and Ben Holt. That's where the city ended. There was no road that took you to Hammer Lane. There was no Calaveras River Bridge. The reason I mention that is because I have grown up in the city. I've seen it grow. 3 or 4 years, I paid my own way through St. Mary's and landed up in Stockton Police Department, worked there as a police officer. I worked 1 year at DVI as a correctional officer. I mention that because I've seen the city grow. I've grown with the city, and I worked in the county throughout every city in the county, Lathrop, Manteca, Tracy, you name it. I've worked in the fields harvesting crops with my father. We had the Bracero program. We worked, he was a farmer and a farm labor contractor, but I was not given a silver spoon. I worked in the fields at age 10. I worked harvesting many crops, and I'm honored to be here today. I respect everybody that has questions regarding how I got on the board. I went through the same procedures and the same vetting, and I'm just as shocked as you are, but I'm going to be here to do the best I can for RTD, and I respect everyone's opinions. That's it.
Thank you. This is, oh yeah, go ahead.
I just want to speak a little bit about my experience and my time here. I just want to say I'm really thankful to all the staff and their hard work. I had the opportunity to see the efforts firsthand when I attended the hydrogen facility in Santa Cruz. I went with several members of our RTD staff along with our new director, Tafuya. I was fascinated to learn about the different types of technology available beyond electric vehicles, buses, and traditional fuel resources. It was especially interesting to see how hydrogen technology works to evaluate whether it could be an efficient option for RTD while also benefiting the environment. I want to express my gratitude to the team. We are very fortunate to have such a dedicated staff. I am extremely confident in the work being produced by RTD under the leadership of Mr. Beasley.
Thank you. It feels good to have a full board. We started off with 3, now we got a full 5. So I look forward to continuing to serve with you guys, and thank you guys, and to the public, everybody continue to exercise your voice. It's a beautiful thing about America. We can exercise our voice. So continue to express yourself, continue to be passionate, and continue to love our city. Because at the end of the day, if it's positive or negative in one of our eyes, it seems like it's love for the city. So continue to do that. All right. I love Stockton. So continue to love Stockton, and we'll be all good. Okay. So we will be moving on to the closed session right now. And yeah, so let's move on to that. The closed session is now over. We will be moving on to the open session. Item A, closed session report by legal counsel Julie.
Thank you, Chair Graves. Okay, so for my closed session report, the RTD board had 4 closed sessions. Closed session A, closed session B, closed session C and closed session D. Of those four, only closed session B has any reportable action. The other three do not have reportable action. The board in closed session considered and learned of the status of negotiations with the ATU Local 256. And before the board in this open session, Part B, is ratification of an addendum to the labor agreement with ATU Local 256. And that is in the form of a memorandum of understanding. With that, I will turn back over to Chair Graves.
We do have public comments on this. We will start with Corey Cummings. If I'm saying that correctly, Corey Cummings. Going once, going twice. Okay, here we go. Not here? Okay, is that Corey? Okay, awesome. How's it going, Corey?
Sorry, brother, I'm just a little confused myself.
No, you're good. It's all good.
My name's Corey Cummings, operator.
Yes, I just want to say thank you guys for that. Okay.
Thank you.
That's it? Oh, thank you. Hey, Corey, I want to say I'm glad to see you smile. I remember a couple months ago, it was yeah, I'm just happy to see, that smile is contagious. So keep that up. We'll be moving on to Lance Rowe for public comment. Lance Rowe.
I'm Lance Rowe, ATU Stewart, 256. I thought we would maybe hear the outcome of the voting first, but hopefully it's a good thing. I just wanted to thank Bernard for having time to sit down with us and going over the contract and some of the things that we wanted to take care of. And I know it's a shorter contract than what we were used to. But given the situation that we're in with everybody just still planting their feet, we thought it was a good idea to do something shorter than a typical 3-year contract. So hopefully outcome's good, and we'll speak on that later. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another public comment from Juvenal Gonzalez. Am I saying that right, sir? Is it Juvenal? Juvenal Gonzalez. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, board. Also, shop steward in the mains department, been with RTD for 29 years. And I just want to say thank you for taking your time, and I'm in support of the ratification, the addendum, if it passes, and really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And last public comment on this item, last but certainly not least, President ATV Crystal McGee.
Good morning, Chair Graves, directors, Stockton community, my brothers and sisters and siblings. My name is Crystal McGee Lee. I am the ATU president, business agent of Local 256. It's unfortunate there was a gentleman who was not here who was alleging, and there's a little history behind that. I have no problem with someone coming up and citing their past history, as you, Director, said. But what I do have a problem is someone coming up and speaking on behalf of ATU Local 256. ATU Local 256 came to fruition from some of the past decisions of some of the past presidents that was ATU 276. And the members stood up and said, we need change. And that's why ATU 256 is here. I am also the representatives for the retirees of Local 256 here in Sacramento, and Sacramento as well as Stockton. So I just want to get that out the air for the board to know that the people are more than welcome to speak on their own or behalf, but do not speak for ATU Local 256 if you are not the legally represented. Okay? With that being said, I just want to say with the vote of 153-0, we are here before you to hopefully ratify this one-year deal. Like I said before, when I came before you, I believe in God, and that's good orderly direction. And I believe this 1 year and the dynamics of the 4.5% in the county, I believe those are the things that will give us good orderly direction. It will also allow us to sit still, because as you alluded, Mr. Beasley alluded to all the audits and things that of nature. So with that being said, I am here in support, and I'm hoping as you see some of my shop stewards, they are also in support. We work diligently and we got something done. So with that, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you and when you went in, and I'm hoping like my forwards, we look forward to collaborating with you. Yet again, I am the President Business Agent, Crystal McGee Lee, ATU Local 256. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Let it be known. Let it be known. I love the way you advocated for your company. Well, not your company, I don't know, your union. So thank you for that. And you've always showed up for them. You've always showed up for them, since the beginning, since I've been here. So I commend you in your leadership and continue to do great things. Well, we will you gotta make sure Miss Erica.
You all have that MOU in front of you?
Yes.
Yeah, this is mine.
Just put some at the side of the room for the public.
That's for
Yeah.
the 707.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
This is the next item.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Do I gotta sign this? I don't have to sign this, right?
No, okay.
Okay, so we're still on the same item, right? Number 16, and ratification of amendment. Item number B for the labor agreement with employee organizational, for the, how do you say it? What? How do you say?
Amalgamated.
Amalgamated. Look, that's a hell of a name. Amalgamated TransUnion Local 256. Okay, so we're gonna bring it to the board and we are going to vote. Can I get a?
Chair, I make a motion to approve.
Okay, anybody, do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay, we have a second.
Second.
We can now vote, Ms. Erica.
Chair Grady,
Yes.
Vice Chair Morano,
Yes.
Director Edwards,
Yes.
Director Saab,
Yes.
Director Latoya.
Yes.
Thank you. So it seems like, unless I'm missing something else, that's about it, right? Yeah. So like, to bring it to the board, is there any comments you guys would like to make or anything that you guys would like to share with the public or anybody here?
Nope, make a motion to adjourn.
Awesome.
I'll second it.
Awesome. So, yes, do we need to vote on that? I know in the planning commission, we got to vote. Okay, planning commission, we vote on, we're like, why are we voting the end of? Okay, so, thank you guys for everything. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad everybody's healthy and leaving here healthy. So motion to adjourn and thank you guys.
Thank you.